Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to another 0AD Alpha 26 multiplayer commentary analysis. And today's is one of the type that I've really wanted to do for a long time, and that's because it's one of my favorite types of games to play, migration. So if you've no idea how to play it, then not only are you going to get to watch a fun game, but hopefully you'll also learn a few tricks of playing the map. So it's me rated at 1468 versus Strongbad rated at 1499, although significantly higher in reality, and it's on a migration map that was actually set a little bit too big by accident, but that didn't affect things too much, so let's get into it. Right, and we are inside the game, so welcome. So as I've said, the map's bigger than I would have expected, but nonetheless, the same things apply, regardless of the map size. So what you'll see is you start on a little island and you've got a mainland where you have to go to. So the first thing you do is pick up all this wood. So you'll see, there we are, that gives you absolutely loads of wood to begin with. So because your main focus is to get off this little island, which doesn't have very much stuff on it, and get onto the mainland, you're going to need to first of all prioritize getting food. So you can see I've built this and I'm training women. I'm just going to try and collect as many berries as possible. Let's see what he's doing. Much the same, and I would imagine, yeah, we're all going to go and build ships as well, try and find some fish. Interestingly, from both of us, like normally, I think this might be because the map is too big, you can see fish from where you start. I can see there's some there, but I'm just sending my boats out in various directions looking desperately for some fish and couldn't find any, but now I can see there's some over here. So I'm going to be going to grab that as much as possible. Now, one thing that you can do, which you may or may not be aware of, is that you can actually load these up. So if you grab one of these little chaps here and then, oh, okay, I can't show you because I'm on a replay rather than actually watching the thing, but what happens is you can get one person on a fishing boat, and so what I'll often do is just get one person on and then take them across to the mainland and use them to run around and do a bit of scouting, because the key thing that you want to do is as soon as you get to phase 2, which you should be doing in the first few minutes, so you can see I'm already going to phase 2 now, got a slightly bigger population going to phase 2, and it's a minute and 47 seconds in, and that's because as you start with so much wood, there's no reason to worry about wood. You're just gathering as much food as you can. So you see I've got 12 women gathering there. He's only got 11, well, which is one less, and we've got probably similar amounts of fish. Now he had to make a bit more of an effort to find some fish, so that slowed him down a bit. He hasn't got the first fishing upgrade, neither have I, but I'm going on to phase 2. So then a boat comes in and starting to get a bit more metal, because the other thing is that you need to have enough to build a civic centre over there before you can start. So for that reason, it is very important that you play as either the Ptolemies or the Seleucids, which you can see both of us have picked, and that's because you want that military colony to be available. Otherwise, you're going to have to collect metal and stone to build a civic centre before you've even really got going. So I'm going to send some people over here, and at the very least you want the camel or your cavalryman, whoever it is, because they're going to go and have to look around and find a good spot to do it. Now, because of the biome, which is absolutely horrible, it's going to make it much more difficult than would ordinarily, because as you can see, the trees are all horribly spaced out and things, so it's not easy to find a good spot. So it's going to be really about what mineral resources. So let's see, I've just gone straight across to the other side, and then my boat, unfortunately the pathfinding for boats isn't particularly good, so I don't normally like naval maps for that purpose, but for this thing I will make an exception. Right, so and off he goes. I just need to go. Where are the rest of my men? There they are. And now the ship can go back and try and pick up some more people. But need to explore. But you can see in terms of pathfinding, I don't know what was going on there. Right, let's see where he is at. He hasn't got his ship yet, so I've got an advantage at this point. But he has built 2 barracks, I think. I haven't even built the 1 yet. So that's going to give him a big advantage. I can gather as much food as possible, but pretty much something that I do that isn't necessarily established wisdom, because other people don't do that, is I effectively try and just get the resources off this island as soon as possible and just give it up. Don't really care about whether it gets lost or not. As long as you can get to phase 3 as soon as possible, you're all good. So I found a spot here. It looks to have a few decent bits of wood around, some trees, and we've got some metal. And yeah, and I'd seen some stone here, so I thought, well, that's kind of in the middle. What I've not done is actually look to see where else could have built. So I've not seen much of the thing. How many people has he put in his boat? None as yet. It's got people collecting wood, got women not really doing very much, so you've got extra people here, so they should, will they spot this metal? Because one of the things that you also need to be aware of, and that I've only learned since playing this game, or only not learned as such because it's obvious really, but it's useful not just to know where the stuff is because you want to build, but also because it will help me to work out where your opponent is likely to build. So I know that his island is up here somewhere, so I know that he's up in this corner because I'm down here and he's not nearby, so he must be up. And that means by moving into his territory, he's going to have to, or it's not his territory as such, but the area that he's most likely to land on if he were to leave, he's going to come across and then he's going to try and find out, and he'll instantly see that I've taken what would have been the obvious spot for him to go. So he's going to have to try and find somewhere else. So I've got a load of women that I've just kind of left there. I'm getting some metal together. What's happening over here? You guys are getting stone. So, and I need that. Oh, really, what on earth are these people? What have I done there? Just completely forgotten about them and forgotten about these guys. I just stopped playing briefly. Dear. So these guys still sat there doing nothing, should be collecting wood or building barracks. And finally, start building a barracks. But he's just checking out the map, going to see where's a good spot. So there's some nice, good collection of trees around here and some stone, which is helpful. And one of the things that you should think of with these kind of maps is well, how can I build the most efficient way? So with me, I've got slingers. I need to make sure I've got access to plenty of stone because slingers are going to be right. So it's going to be more difficult with the way that the trees are. I know these are bigger trees. So how much do they have on them? 600, and you're 50. These bushes, and this is probably 50 as well, and this is 200. So I've done actually pretty well, but getting the barracks together is going to be more difficult. So getting wood, you're going to have to keep moving, basically, keep on building new storehouses to get new sources of wood. But what he's done, which is very different to my approach, is not worry about getting across so soon. He's worried about collecting resources on his island. And let's have a look at the populations. He's well clear in population as well. So he's just said, you know what, I'm not going to go straight across. I'm going to try and pick my moment. And then, what's that? Building a market. Interesting. That will allow him to trade, so could be worthwhile. But still not got anything over there. It hasn't got a huge number of fishing ships either. I think there's those 3. Yeah, I've got the 12, so a lot of my food is based around these fishing. So I've not really set up much in the way of any kind of food economy outside of that, whereas he's done well, completely populated his island. What's that? Got 6. He's only got the first upgrade, but that at least gives him some kind of solid basis. This isn't producing, which isn't very good. I've got starting to get something here, but one of the fundamentals, the absolute fundamental axiom of 0 AD is always be producing from all of your buildings, and I'm not at all. So that's really, really bad, especially when you've got plenty of food. I should be just producing lots and lots of food here, and sorry, lots of women just going out, just chopping wood, doing whatever, just trying to get this moving. But I've got two what do you call them, things. There's this little cavalryman. How much has he seen? He's seen quite a lot of the map, so he doesn't know what's going on much about during my territory, but he knows there's some metal there, there's metal there. So this is where I managed to look how much I've seen and managed to just miss that tiny sliver. There's some metal in there somewhere. Somewhere around here is metal. There it is. Had I seen both of them, I think I would have been wanting to expand out. So he's now pulled his people round, got them further south, and is going straight for that metal. So he's playing his Seleucids. He's slightly ahead in population. I don't think I have any phase 2 buildings yet even. I've just got a couple of barracks. How many's he got? I've got 3 overall, but including 1 on my base that's not doing a huge amount at the moment. Did I? Yeah, I just put a load of people on this ship that has been having a fight with this ship, so I didn't realise that. That is one of the things that can happen. It can be very easy to lose track of what's going on with your ships. It doesn't really matter so much once you're over here. But these guys, getting that stone is going to be very important for getting slingers, getting metal, getting in there. So one thing is, I mean, you'll see a bit later on, there's a lot to kind of learn. So I'm trying to get now, what have I got? A temple and 2 blacksmiths, forges, whatever you like to call them, in order to get some upgrades. And it's interesting, he's really stuck with his economy being based almost entirely on this island, which is really alien to me. It's not that that's wrong as such, it's just very different to how I like to play it. I mean, we're very, very similar population sizes, very similar infantry. It's a very, very similar position at the moment, if I could say the word similar a little bit more often. Again, though, what's happening here? These aren't doing anything. I've still got nearly 5,000. Come on. Got 21 people sat in there. Here's another ship that's got people in it. Are these? What's going to happen here? They're shooting my fishing ships, and I'm not paying attention again. Oh, here they go. What's going to happen now? Will I be able to sink this? Okay. Let's see. Oh, I think he's going to have to do a runner. He is. This only has 1 person on it, which means that in a fair fight, he's going to really struggle there. Come on, attack him. And again, so I'm now, what's happened? I just lost a load of people. Oh, I lost all my fishing boats. That's why my population's so much lower all of a sudden. Right. So we've got another little military colony coming out here. I mean, this isn't producing anything. Could be sending women out to go and clean up all this wood. This not really producing anything again. And now I'm really short of resources because everything was based around that fishing. But I have gone to phase 3 more quickly than he has, and started to produce out here. Come on, I could be getting upgrades, and I'm not. I mean, it's again, these guys just collect some wood, do something, repair the boat. I don't know, this boat's got 21 people on it doing nothing. Come on. Dear oh dear. It's very, very easy to get kind of sidetracked. When you're playing this kind of map, you have the things that you're used to kind of doing. You kind of, in a sort of mainland, again, 5 women that have been put here by mistake, another 5 not doing anything because they should be. There we go. These guys trying to catch back up in population, still haven't got any there. Actually got metal, could be getting some upgrades. I'm not. And I'm going to go, as you can see, I'm not sure of the wisdom of this. I think looking back, it's not something that I would do again, because I think logically there's a lot of metal around, and there's not much wood. Don't go for siege engines, go for elephants. But trying to get some wood, or maybe at this point actually it's not too bad, because it does look like I've got quite a lot of wood. What's going on with these ships? This ship is nearly going down. Can this one... Come on, shoot it. No, shoot this one, because you'll sink it. Oh, he's just doing that when it's going to continually... Oh, it's going to be tight. Just going to continue to throw. Come on, you're going to sink, aren't you? Great. Okay, lost all those guys. As he was microing it much better. I wasn't paying attention, and it is quite hard to do that. So I think important note: don't get involved in the naval battles at all, and certainly don't leave a ship there full of people for absolutely no reason. Why on earth I had that there? I have no idea. Get them across, get them doing something. But here we go. We can now, on the flip side, got some catapults. Got plenty of things, just don't have much in the way of food. Got a market, so I can trade for food at this point, and the price is pretty good. Right, let's see what happens here. I've managed to kill one of his people and lost 36. It's been a pretty dreadful go. Now he's taking over my island. Fine, let him do that. These guys should... I'm not concerned whatsoever about the island. If I can stop him from getting much in, because he's run out of wood there. Understandably, these guys are not going to be able to do my... I can stop his economy here, basically. And I'm going to attempt to build a thing, but there you go. He's made the much more sensible move of elephants, but this is going to go down quite comfortably, I would have thought. And these are... I haven't got enough people committed to this at all, and that's going to cost me. There they go. Okay, so and I haven't got any upgrades still. This is pretty shocking, and now he's with his much more sensible move of elephants and actually having some soldiers, because he didn't get all of his sunk, is in a pretty strong position. Right, I need to get... Are these actually... Oh, they are finally producing something, which is good. You guys could be producing something, but you're not. Is it? Finally starting to get barracks. Only got 6 fields. That's nowhere near enough. Come on. Right, and now he's attempting to come in a bit closer. He's lost his elephant thing and having to recapture it, which is lucky. That's helpful, but I just didn't have the population. And again, what are you all doing? Right, sometimes it's so painful to watch back. I mean, what on earth? These guys, they're carrying 2 wood. They've got absolutely nothing. These guys also, they could have been collecting wood, could have been doing anything. They're not. I mean, I can almost understand. I mean, this as well. Yes. Oh, finally. You lot, what are you doing? Nothing. Not collecting anything. Getting some wood. Any upgrades? Yes, we're getting some upgrades. Come on. What's the max pop? 300. So. Oh. Got 5 barracks now compared to his 3. We're getting people together, trying to get some... So here they come. Here comes a thing. I need as many... there you go. They should be able to take that guy out really quickly. Yeah. And that will be the end of him. Okay, so that was fairly straightforward. Getting a fortress this time. 3 more elephants, and that's the problem. I've never had the food thing. Like, We're so far short of, oh dear, and then that's exactly what I thought might happen there. They're just all going to get killed, which means worse than them just dying is that he gets the resources they've collected, and here comes some people. Right. And those guys are in trouble. Right, we're getting some stone, which is good, I guess, but I don't really just need stone. I need a lot more than that. He's about 20 population ahead. I mean, it is quite interesting in a sense because it's very, very easy to get, like on different biomes, it's so easy to get completely flummoxed, and that's basically what's clearly happened here. All the things I would normally have done, I'm like, oh, there's no wood. What do I do? And I'm just leaving people all the time. You have to adapt much more better than I have here, because that is clearly something I have not done well, is adapt here. I've got very little metal left, and he's now carefully taken in both of them and is just going to... How many has he got so far? 5 elephants, and will just continue to produce them, it looks like, whereas I haven't got any wood or any food. For some reason, it's taken me a long time to realise my fishing boats are no longer claiming food. Get some farms. In an ordinary game that wasn't migration, at this point, on a 300 pop game, I'd have between 12 and 14 farms, and yet here I'm just thinking, for some reason, I'll just stick on 7. 7 is fine. It's not fine. It's nowhere near good enough. Right, so he's trying to get some stone there. Right, let's see. Really struggling for wood. Can't even get that upgrade, and there's nothing, like... Geez, I've got plenty of stone. That's the only thing I have a lot of. Right, trying to do it. Here we go. Not really sure that that's a tower is the best way forward. Could have done with really a fortress, and there's no reason not to get a fortress either. Okay, are you going to build a fortress? I need a fortress. Build a fortress. Hey, is this a fortress? It's a fortress. Success. Right. Still don't have a lot of metal and running. Sorry, don't have a lot of wood, and now this metal is virtually gone, so... And I've still only got the same number of farms. Oh dear, oh dear. Beggars belief. Like, what on earth? I'm nearly at pop cap as well, because I don't have that. I haven't got the upgrade. These guys are finally... I've got them cleared up, but I don't have enough people on... I've somehow got quite a lot of food, probably because I can't train anyone because I haven't got any wood. So this is better. That's it. He won't be able to do anything about that. Don't walk into the trouble. Don't walk. Oh, they're just going to die. What are they doing? That's relatively sensible. What's going on over here? We got anything coming to try and stop this? Because what he's done well as well is not only the very, very sensible... Oh, these guys have managed to get... They're going to die. Again, it's really important just to kind of get away from... Get your people where they can't be caught up like that, because it's a bit ridiculous. Okay. Oh, wow. There we go. So 13 guys. And how many slingers do I have? About 17. That is not going to get anywhere near stopping it, but I might have some in here. I don't. What about you guys? I've got 5 of those. I am producing slingers now, but I'm going to need a hell of a lot of them, and they need to focus all of their efforts on the elephants and there's 15 of them now. So this is going to be hugely problematic. I can't really collect up my army because there really actually isn't much of an army at this point. And this is just too many elephants. Quite why, yeah, some of the choices that were made, I'd say were made, that's very passive, that I made were terrible, terrible choices. Like why I didn't think elephants might be a way to go. And I think it's an important kind of example of why it's so important not to just get kind of typecast and just playing in a way that you just check, am I actually doing anything there? No. Not getting too like into a routine of just playing the same way, because that's pretty much what's happened. I've not adapted at all to what's required here. So I've not adapted to the biome, I've not adapted to what's happening at all. And again, it's going to be these, oh god, yeah, the pikemen need to stop the other people, not the elephants. Right, and I don't think I can produce, I didn't get enough fields, and there's nothing. There's still got 13 elephants here. Like there's virtually nothing left. Didn't get enough. Now I haven't got any stone. Unbelievable. I don't know how I've got no stone when I had like thousands. Where's that all gone? Somehow I've ended up with more wood, and yet the wood is of no value whatsoever. So here come my people, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop this many elephants. Did I actually kill another one? No. Here's the problem. Elephants can be pretty useless in smaller numbers, but when they're in this kind of thing, they're unstoppable, and that was the end of that. So, yeah, I mean, you can see the difference in the score, really, really bad. So that's migration, and it's tough. It's tough, but it's a really fun way of playing. But yeah, the biome, I completely lost track of what was going on there. I mean, look how many more people I actually trained in him, over 100 more people, and yet only killed 40 in the entire thing. So not keeping a good track of what was going on, just not really what we wanted at all. But I hope you enjoyed that. I am going to do a video specifically about just completely how you work with migration games at some point in the near future. And other than that, I will see you very soon. Muito obrigado e adeus.